right, it is just gone 8:15 on your Wednesday evening. You're here with me, Aminata Kamara, on BBC Radio Leicester. I hope you've been having a wonderful day so far. We've been listening back to back with some brilliant tunes from some local artists here in Leicester. So I thought I'd welcome onto the show someone who I would say is definitely one of the most highly regarded and sought after producers here in the city. He's worked with the likes of Jafro, Kamikaze, Morgan Monroe, Sane Fadiz, Lopas Luke, just to name a few. And as I say, he's one of the producers who, if you haven't worked with him, I don't even know who you are. He goes by the name of Maniscooler, and it gives me great pleasure to welcome him to the show. How you doing, Manish?
What's going on? Welcome. Thank you for.
I mean, you can welcome me onto the show. That's fine.
Welcome to your own show. Yeah. Right. I don't know. It's crazy. Like first time being back on radio inside a radio station. Obviously, I've been doing some stuff at Too Funky, but being actually in the BBC building is really cool. I feel like really excited.
Oh no, it's great.
Almost like nervous.
Actually. Oh no, don't be. It's a family here.
But as I warm up, I'll
you'll
be
good.
Cool.
You'll be good. I mean, we have to talk about the first thing, which we were just chatting about off air. How am I pronouncing your name? Because for a very long time,
my producer name or my actual name?
Well, I know you as Maniscooler.
Yes. Okay.
Producer.
Yes.
What's your real name?
My actual name is Maniscooler, but so you just take out the H, swap the K with a C.
Right.
And yeah.
Okay.
Put in 2 O's, yeah. And then man always say, "Oh, do you think you're trying to say you're cooler than people?" But it's just my name. And I get loads of puns and loads of people just, it does get a bit much sometimes.
Did people like poke fun at your name like growing up at school and stuff? Was it one of those things?
I think actually a girl turned around once when I was in year 8 and she said, "Oh, what would be really cool is that your one actually said that says man is cool, that's your name." And I was like, "Oh, that is quite cool," but I didn't call myself Maniscooler back then. I called myself MC Murder, which was a terrible name. Because I was killing man on the beat.
What? Glad we could clarify that.
Yeah, I was, as they say. Destroying MCs, yeah. But yeah, I went past that phase. I don't know who I thought I was. I thought I got a bit gassed. I was listening to Skepta at the time, and I just started getting into grime music, and I thought, you know what, I could be a rapper. I'm going to be a rapper. And then it wasn't for me. My bedroom put his hand on my shoulder and said, "Look, bro, it's not for you. Maybe you should do something else," And I became the guy in the background instead.
Is any of your raps and MCs? Is any of that? Is it in the public domain?
Yeah, some stuff.
Oh my gosh! So what?
I'll link you something later on down the line. It's not really my proudest work, but.
So if I was to go on YouTube, like say, I don't know now, and typed in MC Murder.
Maybe you might actually find something. I might even lie in this. It's something that I wouldn't even take down just to see the growth where I started from. 'Cause I really wanted to make music from the age of 13, 14. And then that was my kind of start to it.
So that's 13, 14, that's quite a young age, but at that point, like, were you quite clear that music was something you really wanted to get into, whether it was as an MC, a producer? Were you quite clear?
No, it wasn't quite clear at the moment in time. I think I wanted to be in the army at one point because I played Call of Duty for. I didn't know where I was going, and obviously, traditionally, my family comes from more of a kind of food background and stuff. Like the kind of family business was food, so I was like, I didn't really want to do that, and kind of getting in trouble a lot at school. So I was like, what's drawing me out of the trouble? And it was the music. So I thought, let me just try go down this route. And luckily, when I got to like year 10, they were like kind of introducing that into the curriculum, music technology. So it was like how to do like set up radio and live recording and studio recording. And that was my gateway into music, I guess.
Was your family supportive of your music career?
My mum said, what makes you think you're going to be a pop star? And I said to me, I'm not trying to be a pop star. Like, she was coming obviously from India and not having kind of, enough information on how you can make money in this field where, we have like, stereotypes and stuff like, in cultures where, I'm supposed to be a doctor or a lawyer or a pharmacist or, I'm supposed to go down a traditional route or maybe help my dad in his family business. But I was like, you know what, I want to do what I want to do. I want to make music. I want to make a profession out of this. And then eventually, my mum started to see the money come in, and my adverts on the TV had tune changed a little bit. So,
but let's take it back a step, because I can only imagine that was quite a bold step for you to kind of continue to pursue music when even you yourself hadn't begin to see the traction or the money or any of that, and actually try to convince your family that this is the right thing for you to do.
I think what it was it was available, because it was available at school, and then I kind of pursued it at college. My mum kind of understood, oh, okay, there's an educational route of doing this. Is, you know, he's not trying to self-teach himself. He's just trying to go down it a way where, you know, he can get something back out of it, something on paper to show that he knows his stuff. And my mum was like kind of wasn't too supportive until I got to about the age of 18, when I was like, look, mum, I really want to take this seriously. Like I was linked up with Kamikaze at the time. Kama used to come to my house a lot. We used to record in my room at home, like, you know, on top of my mum's kitchen. She'd be making food, and I'd hear like the pressure cooker go off, and you'd catch it on the mic, so on the recording. So it wasn't really the best studio, but yeah, I've come from that. And then she knew how passionate I was from then. You know, I saved up and got all this equipment together to make a home studio, and obviously Kamikaze and, you know, Zayn would come around a lot from when we were kids, and she just knew I was really passionate about it. And obviously I chose to kind of detach myself from my friends. They all went Gateway and QE and Regent, and I couldn't really get into them colleges because of my behaviour problems and my grades. So I ended up going to Leicester College, and then they accepted me on the basis of, all right, cool, you've got English and you haven't got your maths, so you'll have to redo that. And then, but you've got this music qualification which you've got an A star in. So let's take you on for that, and let's see what you've got. So yeah, that was the difference. And then my mum just, from there, obviously, as I said, oh, I'm going to uni now to learn. She kind of like, you know, started to back it a bit more.
What would you say was the catalyst for kind of the negative behaviour when you were younger? What was going on with you?
What was going on with me, mum? So my mum and dad had split up, so it was like there was no real discipline at home. I kind of getting away with stuff, so I was letting that kind of build up. And then when they did split up, I was getting to a point where my mum didn't really have enough, like, really that much money. So like she's kind of working the 12-hour shifts. She's never at home, so not really got anyone like kind of, you know, kind of watching out for. My sisters are at that age where they're going out a lot and they're kind of enjoying their life. It's not really their responsibility to be my mum. Do you know what I mean? So I was kind of getting away with stuff, and then I think I was just because I wasn't really given any attention, or I wasn't really looked after. When I mean looked after, I mean like, you know, it wasn't like I was, you know, they forgot about me. Or I was the fact that I knew I could get away with it, so I'd push it a little bit, and not having like enough money as well was like a kind of a downfall, because I'd see, like, you know, some of the other kids at school that have better clothes, like or they'd have something that I didn't have and I really wanted it, and it got to that point when I was at uni as well, and even got to a point when in school I was doing stupid stuff, like I got nicked in the high cross once, shoplifting when I was about 15. I didn't get a criminal charge for it. They gave me a reprimand for it, and it was kind of like a shock then to me. Like, what am I doing? Like, why am I doing this? Like, I need to make the change better for myself. My mum was super disappointed. So was my sister as well. But, you know, just the mistakes I made kind of now, for me now as a man, you know, I look back and I think, wow, man, like, if I didn't make the mistakes and learn the hard way, and luckily I got a break with that kind of stuff. So yeah, man, it's just, that's what it was. It was just probably like the neglect, I guess, of not really seeing what I was doing, and I was just using that then obviously then to mess around and do what I wanted to do.
I honestly don't feel like that's an isolated story. I think there are so many young people who have potential. They have, you know, as you say, you had a family who were in the food business doing really well, but kind of feeling the need to kind of figure things out for yourself, doing your own thing, and kind of just being left to certain stuff, and then obviously sometimes you just want, and that I sometimes feel like is gripping some of our young people, that desire to just want what they can't immediately have.
And they want it now. We live in a generation of, you know, I want it now and fast, and I think social media kind of brought that on a little bit, and that's why I'm kind of happy that I grew up, like, you know, playing with sticks and in the mud, and not having, you know, as I call it, the iPad baby generation, where, you know, kids are just glued and their necks are just kind of tilted, and you just see them and they're just, you know, there's no real communication in terms of I don't know, I just don't like technology that much in terms of when you're growing up, because I went to see my goddaughter the other day, and I was so happy to see that they don't let her have no tablet time, or they just let her be a normal kid. So I think the power of social media has kind of driven this into our younger generation, which is sad, but I still feel that there is a possibility to change, and I still feel like some of these kids are still woke enough to realise, you know, there's to separate themselves from that. But obviously, sorry for the ones that are not as well, who really do get sucked into, you know, materialistic things through the internet.
I'm quite interested in what you said about seeing some of the behaviours that you were kind of getting into and kind of the impact that was having in your life and getting involved in the police and all of that kind of thing, what was it for you that really made you change direction? Because I think that often happens, that young people get into situations or this happens or that happens, but they don't necessarily turn away. What was it for you that really made you say, I don't want this life, I want better for myself?
I think what it was I think it was, like the shock factor of obviously getting caught by the police, and then my cousin had to come get me, which was like, he was so disappointed in me. He's like, he's the one who was running Billy's Fish Bar. He's like, I had to close the shop for you.
Wow.
Like, you're in trouble, man. Like, you owe me big time for this one. And I was like, I'm like, cool. And it was kind of the disappointment on him, and then doing further things down the line, like other small stuff. At this point, my mum's face, my sister's face is like, yo, like, what are you doing with your life? Like, what are you going to do? And I think what really hit me, it's because I was so naughty at school that I didn't apply myself, because I knew I could have passed and I could have got better GCSEs. But when I opened my result day, my letter on results day, I was just like so embarrassed, because everyone was like, oh, we got into college together and we're going here, and oh, where are you going? I'm like, oh, looks like I'm not going anywhere, because my grades, they look terrible. So, that was a slap in the face. And then that's when I had to kind of that negative impact for me, like I was like, oh, I got to cut this out. And then what was even more sad about that whole situation, that I had to actually sacrifice like friendships and kind of like take myself away out of the normal friendship group to then go pursue something by myself. And it was hard, but it was worth it. It paid off in the end.
Well, we are going to hear your brand new track alongside Jada O'Neill very soon. But before then, you've also brought 2 songs for us that kind of ring true to you.
Yeah.
Talk to us about one of them and we'll play it for us.
Okay, cool. So we'll go for Me, Myself and I, which is like kind of my diva song. 'Cause obviously it's a Beyonce song, and it's really about her, I think, being as like, I think she's detaching herself from a relationship in that song, I think. And why I like that song a lot is because I think she goes, I don't know if Beyonce's star sign is a Virgo. I don't actually know, but I remember her talking about star signs in one of her songs, and I really liked it on that album anyway. Anyway, going from that, going to Beyonce, I thought the production was tight. I was like, yo, this beat's hard. It's made by Scott Storch. I was like, I want to make beats like this. It just felt like real music, and obviously my sisters, growing up with them, R&B, garage, that's all I grew up on, so I'm super influenced by that. So it wasn't like I went out this way to find this song. It was like, it was played so much in my household. I was like, yo, this song's really good. I really like this song. Don't know why. So when I'm feeling like a diva, when I'm feeling a bit hurt, that's what I stick on. When I feel like it's just me, myself and I, that's what I play.
Oh, I love that!
Yeah. Because that's the first line. Oh, my ladies, if you're feeling it, you know what I mean? So that's why it was funny.
It is, of course, Beyonce, Me, Myself and I, picked by my guest tonight, Maniscooler.
No, great record though. I really
Big tune! I ain't heard this in a long time!
That's why I thought I'd play it.
Beyonce, Me, Myself and I, taken from the Dangerously in Love album, selected by my guest live in the studio, Maniscooler. I mean, I'm going to be honest, I didn't have you down as a member of the Beehive.
Oh yeah, I'm a Beyonce fan. Maybe not not of recent stuff, not because I don't like it, it's just I kind of fell out with obviously what was going on in the pop world and more into obviously what I was making in my field. Because I was talking about it to my girlfriend Jada about it, and she was like, "Oh, so you don't like listen to the new ones?" I said, "Not really. I'm an old school kind of Beyonce fan." So yeah, I kind of kept it real from then. So yeah.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I never saw that coming, but
yeah, fair enough. I didn't expect you to either. So but yeah. Just one of them ones.
No, all good. I love it. Who else would you say are kind of like the artist, that your go-to artist, or the ones that influence you in what you do?
Everyone always says it, but yeah, Kanye West is really, really big influence of mine. I'd say all the kind of producer / artists like Timbaland, Pharrell, Kanye, Dr. Dre. Them ones that kind of still bangles as well. The kind of the people that have that producer role and artist role at the same time. That's what really inspires me a lot.
Talk to me about that, because I find that quite fascinating. I feel like in recent years I'm beginning to see more people who are producers actually becoming artists, but we never actually hear their voice. For example, you just mentioned Still Bangles there.
Yeah.
And there are so many other artists within a similar vein who are making music. Just talk to me a little bit more about that.
So I feel like for a producer to have his role and involvement on a song, I think the best thing to do, I mean, it's like kind of like how much effort you're putting in. Like, is it 50-50? Or are you doing one thing or are you doing the other? But with this, it's more like, let's say me and you make a song together in the studio. I'll then get kind of involved in your writing with it, kind of go into your world. Let's create a world about the song. What's it about? What's the journey? And just, you know, kind of give you like kind of my say. Maybe chuck you a couple lines here and there. Even co-write the song with you. And that's when I feel that's when you can have the right to kind of have your name sitting as an artist credit. You know, it's not just making a beat and much. And then I'd like to be involved lately with creative direction. So like all my music videos, if it's my song, I'm there for the music video. I'm kind of co-directing. I kind of want to take the step from the studio as well. So I kind of want to be like all hands on when it comes to that to earn that, you know, artist title. And I think that's what people like Timbaland, Pharrell, and Dr. J do. So yeah, that's that kind of vibe.
When you first started out, is that how you imagined the career to go? Because I think sometimes there are a lot of creatives who sometimes just look at the surface stuff like I'm going to be a singer or I'm going to be a footballer, but there's so much more to the picture that happens. Even here on the radio, you know, I might sit here and chat on the radio, but we've got producers, we've got the whole team behind it that kind of make the magic happen. Was this the goal for you, or was it
going back to MC Murder, let's go back to that again. When I was trying to do that kind of vibe, I just wanted to be like, you know, a top grime MC, I guess, at that point. You know, I think every boy goes through a rapper-esque kind of phase. But yeah, what it really was, after I realised I wanted to be the guy in the background, I also realised that, I want to kind of have that, I want to have my name on songs, basically. And, you know, not all artists allow you to do it. I've been like in meetings before where we're trying to close the deal on the song, and they're like, well, you're not already on the song, so we're not gonna put your name as an artist credit because we don't think you kind of earned that. But in other cases where I've been with Kamikaze and my friends, that's where I kind of got the first that kind of taste for it, because Cam was like, oh yeah, I'll let you put your name on the song as an artist, and then Jaffa let me put my name on the name on the song as an artist, and I was like, okay, cool. If these guys are letting me do it, let me try it with some other people. But it's not always the same.
That can be difficult. How do you find the transition from working closely with your friends to working with people who you've never known and they've just kind of said, hey, we want to work with you?
I think working with my friends is a lot more freedom, and there's a lot more control in terms of being comfortable, being creative. But then now that I'm working with people that I've hardly met or I hardly know, now that I've got that confidence from my friends, I kind of apply it to the same practice with them. So I'm kind of like, I do say what's on my mind, or I say, you know, that doesn't sound as good, maybe you should do it like this, kind of thing. So it's just, it's interesting. I think making music with people is not just about the creative side, it's about networking, being a people person. If I'm a recluse and I'm an introvert, it's really hard then to connect with someone. Like, I have to be outspoken, I have to, you know, just make people feel like, you know, they can connect with me. And that's the best part of it, I guess.
Do you think there's enough understanding around what it means to be a successful artist in this industry? And I asked that question because it was just a couple of weeks ago where we had this convo alongside BBC Radio 1 Extra Talk. So we were talking about the whole picture of being an artist and what it takes to become successful.
Okay.
Is there enough information around what it means? Because it isn't just jumping in the booth or going to the studio and making a track.
There's more than
There's
that.
a whole
There's more than that.
body of work behind of it.
We're talking, you know, I mean, that's the first step, you know. See music as a product, right? You go to the studio, me and you finish a song, I've handed you back over the song, that's yours now, that's your product to sell, that's your, wherever you sell it, if you put it online on stream services, you sell it as an NFT, it's yours to sell. And now that you've got this product, what's next for it? How are you going to market it? Why is it going to be sellable? Why is yours different to the next person? And that comes down to, you know, originality, comes down to, you know, choice of, you know, production, it comes down to even building like a hype. Like, you know, a lot of artists, they'll make a song, they'll take the product from me, they'll put it on Spotify, they'll share it once in their story and that's it. And they'll get 100 plays or they'll get 1,000 plays and it'll get forgotten about. But what it takes is, you know, the marketing side of it, how far it pushes out as soon as it leaves the studio. It's all about building a brand before you actually put out the product as well. So it's like building the brand awareness first. So I think he was on the show a couple of weeks ago. His name's Studio Wiz, and you know himself. What he's done is he's built his brand first. You know, he doesn't show his face. He wears his glasses on his mask. He's got cool, lazy, chilled out flow. But what he's done is he's built the audience first, and now his music's doing successful. Like, it's doing quite well for an independent artist, just because he's kind of built the brand before releasing the product. And that's what you have to do, I think, personally. And I don't think, no, you're right, I think artists are not aware of that. Some aren't anyway. Some people just think, go studio, put the song on Spotify, it's done. And then ask me, people will ask me, oh, how come my thing ain't blowing? How come you're making good music, but you're just not marketing it the right way, or you've just not built the brand before to sell the product, I think, personally. And that's what I've learnt lately, personally anyway.
Where would you say the main bulk of your success has come from?
Whew. I like to thank I like to big up Kamikaze a lot. Like I bigged him up the other day, and he's like, look, you kind of did this by yourself. You don't need to keep you don't need to. I didn't put you on. You kind of we've ate together, kind of vibe. And I feel like it's from just being successful with my friends, growing up and learning how to make music with them. And I think it's just, I just work late, like it's the studio. I don't give up. Like I just tried my hardest, even in the points where I put beats on SoundCloud. I don't know if you remember the SoundCloud days. People still use SoundCloud, but people used to actually just put their whole tunes on SoundCloud, and came from that kind of era. And it was just like, people were telling me I knew my music was good, but I just it's hard to seek validation from others. To who's to tell me my music's actually really good to kind of carry on and doing it. So yeah, I guess it's just come from that really, and then just people around me telling me, oh, you're really good, but you should kind of keep doing this thing, and just kind of building it from there, I guess.
Did you ever doubt your abilities?
Oh yeah, every day, man.
Really?
Yeah, 100%.
Still?
I don't want my head to grow any bigger than it is at the moment. But no, I guess having certain accolades, obviously now working with some companies, Sports Direct the other day, Pepsi in the last 2 years, prestigious known companies, and the accolades are big, and they're kind of if I was to present myself now to someone else, and I've done this with that person and this with that person, I'm kind of not gonna get shunned away in a sense. So I guess maybe it took me then to realize, or I think it was when I got email from a woman in America, and she's like, "Oh, are you the owner of this song?" I said, "Yes, I am." And then she basically said, "Oh, well, we want this song on a PlayStation game."
Wow.
So I was like, wow. And I was like, is that because of me, or is that because of the artist on it? And I started to think, you know what, I'm making good music, so there's a connection here. So I'm gonna keep doing this. So I guess so, yeah. But it's for some people, even one shares a repost to your story, a like, a comment, sometimes that can be enough for me as well.
Makes a huge difference, doesn't it?
It does. So that's for any independent artist or producer trying to do their thing. I guess just don't give up, man, and put the extra hours in. I think, what did they say, 100,000 hours or something? And I've been doing it since 14, so I think I'll tick the box, hopefully.
Well, let's play another track from another one of your influences, Kanye.
Yes, big influence, really big.
Why did you pick this song for us to play?
I think Graduation, it's taken from the Graduation album, and I think this was like this was my first amount of money that I saved up to go buy a CD, and it was this album, and I think he had a feud with 50 Cent at that time, like who would get better sales, and I thought, this guy's really cool because he's not a gangster rapper. He's like, he looks kind of nerdy, he wears a backpack, and his rhymes are a bit different. So I thought, let me go with this guy, and then we just buy this album. And then before the song was even a music video, I had it, and I was like, yo, this sounds great. And also, they made us reproduce it when we was at school. That's probably why I liked it probably a lot as well.
Oh. Wow. Okay. That's not what we want to play. We don't want Beyonce again as much as we love you.
Yeah, I would play her again. I'd get ultimate reloads for Beyonce.
Oh, it's not playing. We don't have... Wait. Something's gone on here, because we seem to be listening to Kanye West and to Beyonce and not Kanye. Hold that thought. I promise you we will get the tune. Shit, where is it?
New this summer on BBC iPlayer.
Sorry, I started bleeding halfway through my interview on my legs. And I had a mosquito bite, I itched it. And then I looked at Alex, and he looked at me, and there's blood all down my leg.
That was the train guy. No. Yes. See now, Destiny.
And Dubai Hustle.
You're the luxury go-to agent in Dubai.
That month I made around £15,000.
Watch tonight on BBC iPlayer.
BBC.
Yes, you're tuned into Aminata Kamara here on BBC Radio Leicester. The Gremlins have entered the studio, and the Kanye tune we're trying to play isn't playing, but we're going to do our best to get it on for our artist tonight, Maniscooler, who's joining us here in the studio, talking about his journey, his musical abilities, everything he's done today. I mean, what do your parents think about your journey and what you're doing now?
I mean, my mum, when she seen the Pepsi advert on the TV, she was like, wow, this is like actually real. I'm like, yeah. This is what I'm doing. This is part of my job, my industry. So yeah, and after Yasin gave me the job at the studio, like kind of engineering, kind of helped me out a lot. So it was just one of them. Like that was the main thing.
I love that. What would you say is next for you?
Next for me, I actually, you know what? It's gonna be Morgan Monroe's EP that we've produced for her at HQ. She's a really good friend of mine. Known her since the age of like 15, so we've kind of grown up together. I made a lot of her music growing up, like kind of like her demos, like her starting stuff before she took stuff a lot bit more seriously. Like in the SoundCloud days, and so I've got some stuff with her. Got some more stuff with obviously long-time collaborator Kamikaze. I'm obviously working a lot with Birmingham rapper Mogs, so I've got a few things here and there. But I think I want to kind of delve into the dance side of stuff because going to all these festivals, I realised that I can make dance music, and I'd love to, DJ to a big crowd of my own song. So I think I'm going to try and make not the switch, but try and not just be a rap kind of R&B producer, and then kind of move on to some more dance stuff.
Right, love that. Well, maybe this one has kind of inspired your latest track with Jada O'Neill.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, kind of just what's the great thing about this is like K-Tronada kind of vibes. Also, I don't know, making music with someone that you're involved with romantically is a bit of a different vibe. Something that I'd never experienced before. And then after making the music, I was like, wow, this is really nice. And then we've made some more songs since then. We've got a song called Sugar together. We've got another song that I co-wrote with her, a garage song that will be out in be out probably next year or something. But I just that vibe, it's unmatched. You can't beat it. It's really nice, And she brings me the ideas, and I bring her the beats. So it's really something that she kind of brought to me. So I got to give her credit on this one. She brought the idea to me. It wasn't really my idea, so I kind of facilitated it and made the music for her, and then she did the rest.
That's so lovely. I'm not sure I could handle working with my partner.
No?
No, man. I mean, I don't have one, but if I did, I don't know if I could manage. I'm not gonna lie to you.
At the beginning, it was like I was kind of like tiptoeing around because I wasn't sure what working with her, what we wanted, what she already wanted from the session, and then I turned around to her once and I was like, you know what, let me just take control, and then from there I feel like our relationships work well in the studio.
I love that.
And out the studio.
Are there any issues though? I mean, hope she's probably not listening.
She probably is listening. She probably is listening.
It's alright. It's alright.
She'll listen on sounds anyway afterwards. She'll be on BBC. I'll make her listen to it. She'll see the content tomorrow. She'll definitely listen to it. But I guess it can be challenging. Sometimes she might hear a sound and don't like it. I hear a sound and like it. So, but I think it's all part of the learning curve really, and it's just it makes stuff more fun. But she also has a go at me sometimes because she's like, you never have time for my music. You're always doing this, you're always doing that, you're always doing other people's music. But I said, girl, you're in Antigua right now, so when you get back,
we'll make it
happen. We'll definitely make it happen.
Listen, it's been such a pleasure having you here.
It's been lovely being on the show.
Chatting. Really, really enjoyed getting to know you, and because as I say, we always play your music here on the show.
I really do appreciate that.
No,
so big up to BBC Radio Leicester.
We'll continue to do that for sure. But before I let you go, we are still going to be on a quest for that Kanye tune. But in the meantime, I'd love it if you could introduce for us your latest single alongside your lady Jada, but also tell us where we can find you and connect with you online.
Okay, cool. So if you want to search for me, I am Maniscooler across all platforms. That is MANISCOOLER. And you can find me literally anywhere from Snapchat to TikTok to Instagram to Facebook. It's all the same handle, so really easy to find. And this is kind of just K-Tronada House inspired track by me and Jada O'Neill. Hope you guys enjoy it.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Oh, the Gremlins!
It's alright.
And I found the tune.
You lost a Kanye tune. I started bleeding from my mosquito bite. That's what happens when...
I'm proper offended by this. This never happens to me.
Sorry.